Blue Ribbon versus Estrella Galicia from Spain. Both of these are the sweeter of each contest that they recently participated in. Pabst went up against Miller and lost because Pabst was too sweet. Miller was a little bit more bitter. Estrella went up against Kronenbourg 1664, and I preferred the Estrella because it was sweeter, but it also had a good balance of bitterness from hops. Now, I poured both of these such that they had the same amount of foam on them after I poured them, but now it looks like foam has been building up in the Estrella. So that means I'm not going to be able to do this with my eyes closed. Because I will feel that foam and I will know that it's the Estrella, so there's no point in me mixing them up and closing my eyes. Pabst is rated at 69 on Beer Advocate and Estrella is rated at 70. Pabst has an ABV of 4.8 and Estrella is 5.5. Well, let's get to it. I'll start off with the Pabst because I expect it's going to be sweeter than this, and the bitterness from this ought to be good. But I also brought some water, so I'm going to rinse my mouth out after drinks. Pabst is a chuggable beer because it's not strong. It's smooth. It's not bitter. I call it the Kool-Aid of beers. Oh, that's much better. That's a clear difference. I don't even have to drink the rest of them, and I've already know that Estrella is better. It's more bitter, slightly, but compared to the last beer that it was compared against, Kronenbourg 1664, it was sweet. But compared to this, it's bitter, but it's got a really nice flavor. I like the flavor compared to Pabst. Pabst is weak, it's bland. But it's drinkable if you can tolerate the blandness. It's like drinking water after drinking this. Very weak. One of the reasons that I started doing these beer comparisons is because a long time ago I've heard it said by Europeans that American beer is like making love in a boat. And if you don't get the reference, they're basically saying it's fucking close to water. Now, I decided I would test that by comparing some American beers like Budweiser to some European beers to find out if they are much more watery as the Europeans claim they are, or as some Europeans claim they are. And I found that no, that's not necessarily the case. I'm talking about the mass-produced craft beers like Budweiser and Miller, and Coors, and Pabst. But I didn't use Pabst back when I first started doing this to compare it with anything, but I did use Budweiser and Miller. And I found that, well, no, they're not necessarily watery compared to European beers. I would say this one is, though. Pabst is like making love on a boat. It's not a bad flavor, but it's weak. This one has some bite to it. It has some flavor. And it has some bitterness, which is good. So, given these two beers, I'm going with Estrella Galicia, or for you Spanish-speaking individuals, would you say Estrella Galicia? I think it's Galicia. But who knows? It could be Galicia. Especial. Cerveza. Yeah, I studied Spanish in college. And also lived in San Diego when I was in the Navy. And while I was out there, I studied Spanish on my own. Out of a book. I forgot what the book was called. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Spanish, or Spanish for Dummies. I can't remember. Something like that. I just, whenever I had a moment to myself, I would read the book and basically learn vocabulary. It's just nothing there. It's bland. I liked this when I first tried it. Well, actually, I've tried it a long time ago, but it's been a long time, like I said. And when I saw this in Walmart for under $6, I thought, I should get some of that and do a comparison with it. And I did do a comparison with it maybe a couple years ago. I can't remember how it turned out. At least I think I don't know. But I don't remember it being so bland, so weak, so sweet. There's nothing there. That's why I call it the Kool-Aid of beers. It's sweet and it's weak and got a little flavor, and that's about it. Basically, some kind of flavored water, beer flavored water, with a beer flavored, slightly carbonated water. So yeah, this is close to art. Or I will say, closer than most other beers, or many other beers that I've tried. Well, that's it. Get this one done in under 10 minutes. Estrella gets the win. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.